Hey, you know what? I think I'm gonna make that my greeting. I kind of like the sound of it. I don't know. Maybe I'll start using it from now on. Welcome to another depressing day in the life of Kalia. Um, I do have a lot to talk about in this video. First of all, when I was kind of irritated when I sat down to record. For some reason, the glare of the light made everything blurry. So now it's kind of awkward. I have the camera completely faced away from me. So it's like I don't know if you can understand what I'm explaining, but the phone is like, it's turned away from me. So I don't even know if you can see me. Like, I don't know. Because I can't see what I'm filming. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it was blurry, so I had to turn the camera around so it could capture me clearly. So if my hair looks, I don't even know how my hair looks in this film right now, but if it looks messy, that's because it is. Like, it's the end of the day. It's like almost 10 o'clock on a Sunday, and you honestly could not pay me enough to care how my hair looks right now. Like, I just don't care. I just want to say what I have to say and then end this video because I am very tired. Even though I did nothing all day, I'm still tired because my body is catching up with all of the stress that has been put under for the past 2 to 3 months. Even longer than that, but recently for the past 2 or 3 months. Anyways, so just like my hair, like my background, I have no idea how my background looks. Let me try to turn the camera. This is where I'm at right now. I'll get into where I'm at. If anything looks, I wish I could see the camera right now. I hope you can see me. But if anything looks messy, again, that's because it is. Like, I'm not moving into here. So it's not like I'm unpacking or anything and I haven't finished unpacking. That's not what the case is. Like, I have stuff strewn around because this is temporary. Like, I have a temporary living arrangement with my school. So that's that. All right, let me get into the video. I have a list of 4 things, and I hope I'm not forgetting anything this time. I'm pretty sure I am, not to mention another video. But it's gonna be a loaded video. So I don't even know where to begin, but let me start with just first things first. Let me start with school. Let me save the worst for last and get into all the school stuff out of the way. Let me start with the more lighthearted stuff. So I won't say who this is, but a recruiter from, and I won't say the name of the organization or anything, but a recruiter from the federal government came to my school, and they held an information / hiring session for 2 hours. This was what was this, Friday? I think it was, Friday. And I attended. It was part of this government club that I'm a part of at my school. And they have internship fairs, and they have a lot of cool events that I attend. This was one of them, and it was informative. She basically gave a PowerPoint presentation. I was taking notes as usual. It was held in an auditorium. And again, I won't say, who this is and the organization because I'm currently applying for this position, for this organization, and I'm not supposed to, if I got the job, I'm not supposed to say that I got the job and that I'm working for this organization. But I don't know, if I can say that, I'm currently applying for them and, I don't know. But just to be on the safe side, I'm just gonna, say that it's a job for the federal government that I'm applying for. And I've actually wanted to work for this organization for a while. But I just didn't I didn't initiate it. I haven't applied or anything. I guess I was kind of waiting for an open opportunity because I don't know, but yeah, I got the opportunity this past Friday, and I just been looking at the application over the weekend, and just I started the application. So it was kind of fun. Hopefully I get hired. I kind of have a feeling my intuition almost never fails me. It's almost never wrong. If I kind of have a good feeling that something's going to go right for me, it usually does. So hopefully in this case, I am right. I hope I'm not too close to the camera. I honestly can't tell. Maybe I should have filmed this tomorrow. Maybe I should have waited till tomorrow anyways, too late now. So yeah, I'm just applying for this position. It's gonna take a while too, from the time I apply to the time I'm officially hired. If I'm officially hired, hopefully I'm officially hired. And I'm gonna have to relocate too. So again, I'm not gonna say where because I'm not sure how much I'm supposed to divulge, but it does require me to relocate. I'm fine with that because I'm trying to move out of the city. That's another thing I wanted to talk about. I'm trying to keep track of everything I want to talk about. Anyways, so that's that. And what else? So I got I think roughly 4 more weeks of this fall semester left. So I'm just trying to, hang in there, just trying to, what's the word? Trying to tough it out for these next few weeks left of the semester. Because I'm almost done. I made it to midterms, and I'm okay, if I made it halfway, then I can make it all the way. And it looks like it's going to happen. It looks like we're going to end the semester successfully without a D or an F. Hopefully. Still got a couple of weeks to go. But I am passing the class, which is good. I do want my grade to be higher than what it is now. I'm getting what am I getting? A B minus or something? My standards are definitely a lot higher than that, but I'll take what I can get for right now because I'm not failing the class, which I honestly should be considering everything that I'm going through right now and everything that I'm trying to juggle. So I'm kind of surprised that I'm not failing, and I'm kind of not surprised that I'm not failing, but I'm glad I'm not failing. So there is that. So yeah, almost done. Thank God. And yeah. If you notice, I have new frames, new glasses. I'm going to get into why in a little bit. So speaking of the end of the semester, I am currently in the process of registering for spring classes. It's just that, again, with what I'm currently going through right now, which I'm going to get into later, I'm not sure if that's the best idea. I don't know if I'm going to go on leave, or if I'm going to put everything on hold for right now until I can get myself get everything get myself together and everything and get everything figured out, or if I'm just gonna jump right into the next semester. I don't know. If I feel like I'm ready, then I'll do it, but hopefully I can move on to the next semester. But I am looking at classes right now. I haven't registered. Registration is open right now, but I met with my advisor and we talked about potential classes I could take, but I haven't registered for anything yet because it has been so busy with finishing this semester and like other stuff in my personal life, and so that's kind of like taking kind of a back seat for now. But I am probably gonna register within the week, just because I like to just have that done and out of the way, and I like to do it early. And I gotta start taking care of other stuff for school for next year, which is closing in on us pretty fast. 2026 is literally right around the corner, and I got stuff to do for this year and for next year, and it's just a lot. So trying to balance everything. So yeah. And all right, so that's pretty much the school stuff that's out of the way. Now let me get into what this video is really about. So I have no idea, since the camera's facing away from me, I have no idea like how long I've spoken so far. It doesn't matter. Anyway, let me just get right into it. So I am homeless once again for the second time in like 10 years. I don't believe I mentioned that in my most recent videos going back a few months. I know it was just like mostly school related, but in those videos, like my school videos that I filmed, like, I was homeless, so, but I didn't mention it until right now. So I don't know, like, oh my gosh. I've got like a list of stuff that I need to say, but stuff that I, want to say for this video, but for some reason, like, I have it all in my head before I film, then when I'm actually on video, like, everything just gets jumbled up, and I'm trying to like stay, I'm trying to like follow the timeline, like, I'm trying to follow things sequentially or whatever, but yeah, how I became homeless again really isn't that important. I don't really want to get into that. That's a whole nother different story. But the shelter that I was staying in, let's just say, I did my research, a little research before going there, and let's just say I was deceived into believing that the shelter was better than what it actually is. And almost immediately, like my second day there, I started experiencing issues. And that's that video that I posted a while back where, I was like sitting down, and then, I was arguing with this. Well, I wasn't arguing on camera, but, there was a back and forth between the staff member and this other person. If you know what video I'm talking about, I think it was called The Problem with Homeless Shelters in America or something. That was the shelter that I was at. And that was when I was there for like, I don't know how long, but I started experiencing issues with this person specifically and with other people down the line way before that video was filmed. But yeah, I was there for like 3 months. Until recently when I was pretty much forced to leave. So, yeah, so like, let me just get into what happened. Now, this had been building up. Like I said, I've been there for like not long, like under 6 months. Like I was there for 3 months, not long at all. But like I said, I started experiencing a lot of problems early on when I first arrived there, and it was just building up and building up over the next several months. And I just had enough of everything. Like I just have too much going on. It was just like, I just had enough. So I don't even know where to start with what happened. But I'll spare you like all the details, all the like details of, what actually led up to this fight. But I did get into a fight with 3 other women in this shelter. It was an all-women shelter. And I'll just say the name of the shelter. It's called Sarah's Circle. I live in Chicago, so it's a shelter, all-women shelter in Chicago. All-women shelter, and like including trans people. I won't say trans women. Well, trans women, but not biological women. And so that was one of the other issues that I had. From my understanding, it was like, I'm thinking it's all women shelter. I didn't even think about, trans people being added into the equation. But I should have been, but now I learned my lesson. So I had an issue with that too. I'm not comfortable with, biological males. Biological males trying to pass as females in an all-women shelter. Like, I'm not used to that. I've never been in a shelter. Because like I said, this is 10 years. 10 years have gone by since I've been homeless. And things were different, at least at the shelters that I was at 10 years ago. I don't even think that was a thing, like trans people in women's shelters, especially like women's shelters. In one shelter I was at, they were separated from, like not the general population, but they were just separated. So I had a huge issue with that, but I couldn't really do anything about it because at the end of the day, I need a roof over my head. So I kind of just had to deal with it and just try to avoid this, person during my time there. And it, kind of worked and it kind of didn't. But I'm going to get into why I left this shelter. So like I said, I got into a fight with 3 women there. One of them I just recently started had issues with. The others were like, I kind of, one of them I had issues with since I first got there. But, I got into a fight with all 3 of them. And like I said, I won't go into how this all developed. I'm just going to leave it at that. Like, we got into a fight, and one of them pulled a knife on me. And yeah, I just left all my stuff there because, obviously it wasn't safe to go back and retrieve my stuff because I'm unarmed. I wasn't expecting her to, pull out a weapon on me. And I guess I can add that to my list of firsts because I've never, 30 years of being alive, 30 years of living in Chicago, never had a weapon pulled on me before. I know that may sound surprising given the reputation of the city, but like that's never happened to me before. Yeah, now I will mention that, before she did pull a knife on me, I did, in self-defense, I'll say, quote unquote, stab her. Well, actually, I did stab her, not with, a knife like she had, but I had something that could be essentially used as a weapon. So what I had was, I had my lock, which I could have used as a weapon if I wanted to, because I had 2 locks. What I started carrying around on me was a pen, and I started carrying my rat tail comb. If you don't know what a rat tail comb is, it's like a thin comb that you can use to part with, and you can use to like comb small sections of hair. Just look it up. a rat tail comb, and some of them have a metal end, a sharp metal end. And I had a comb like that, and I'd had it for years. And, I'd always used it for its purpose, which was doing my hair. Now, when I came there, since I didn't have anything to, defend myself or protect myself with, I just used what I could use, as a weapon to protect myself. Because nobody else was going to, I had to protect myself. So I had to do that on my own, which I'm used to by now. I'm actually going to throw this braid back because I wanted to put it to the side, but I don't know. My hair looks really bad. Anyway, sorry for the interruption. So I used that, and I stabbed her in the arm with it. And, I went outside. Actually, I fought her first, and then, I stabbed her with the comb. And then I went outside. She followed me, and I heard people, shouting her name. And, I turned back, and I crossed this. As I was crossing the street, she was following me. Not until I looked down at her hand, I saw she had a small switchblade in her hand. So, guys, what do you think I did? Like I said, when I took out my comb later, I saw that it was complete. The metal part that I, stabbed her in the arm with, it was completely bent. And, when I was up, people were saying, she's got something in her hand. She's got something in her hand. That was what I had in my hand. And that's what I used. And she kept saying, "Oh, you stabbed me, you stabbed me." But it wasn't with, a knife or anything. It was just that comb. But since it had that sharp metal end, it could be used for like that. So the whole metal end of the comb was bent. But anyway, she followed me out onto the street, and I saw what was in her hand, and so I ran, and she followed me for a bit, and I kept looking back, and I think eventually she stopped and said that you won't be coming back here. And it was true. I didn't come back. Like I said, I left my stuff. I caught the bus, immediately caught the bus to school, and it was I actually kind of avoided school after that, and I kind of just went somewhere else, because for some reason I thought I was in trouble or something for what I did, even though I think I was in the right for what I did. Like I said, it was all self-defense. And that's why I have new glasses, by the way. My glasses were completely destroyed by that physical altercation. Like I said, it was 3 people. Now, I don't know if my glasses were knocked off my face or if somebody snatched my glasses off my face and threw them to the ground, because when I looked at my glasses, it kind of looked like that, because I dropped my glasses. Let me do a time check real fast. Okay, it's 23 minutes, whatever. I'm not worried about time anyway. But when I dropped my glasses several times in the past, and they always look fine afterwards, nothing scratched or anything. But this time, the frames were bent, and one of the lenses was knocked out, and the other one was in, but one of them was knocked out. So the glasses were, they were destroyed. I couldn't use them anymore. So I couldn't see. And so, I was just, angry about everything. Those are my favorite glasses. I couldn't see now. I just got into this fight. Now I can't go back to this only shelter that, because I was trying to avoid all of this for the longest time. Because at the end of the day, setting aside all of that, my emotions and what I was going through, at the end of the day, I needed a roof over my head, and I needed to maintain what little self-control I had left to maintain that roof over my head so that I can continue going to school and so I could just, just survive. But when I was no longer able to do that, then that happened. So, and I can't say I'm surprised. I'm far from surprised. I, knew that was coming. Could have been prevented. Yeah, and, obviously you're not supposed to have weapons in shelter, so, but we don't have any metal detectors there, so, somebody wanted to, no matter how many times they check the bags when people come in, if somebody wanted to sneak something in, they could totally do that, and then looks like that's what she did. So, yeah, I eventually did return to school, nobody was asking for me, looking for me or anything. And, yeah, so that was last month. It's been a couple of weeks, it's been almost a month since that happened, I think. Nobody's reached out to me, asked if I was okay, if I'm coming back for my stuff, or anything like that. I wasn't expecting anybody to reach out to me, and I hope that they don't, honestly, as I do not want to hear back from that place. I don't want to see that place, go back to that place. I'm just, and it's not just out of caution, it's just, I'm just done with it. And I want to say, I'm done with shelters completely. I pretty much am. I'm still trying to figure out, future living arrangements. But like I said, where I am now is temporary. It's an arrangement that I have with my school. After that, I have no idea. Hopefully, God will continue to be with me throughout this very, 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 very rough patch that I'm going through right now. Actually, rough patch is a severe understatement, I feel. But, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, I do like to, while I am here, I like to, plan ahead about what my next steps are. But, I'm just facing the reality that my options are just continuing to dwindle and dwindle. And, staying at these shelters is really no longer an option for me. Actually, I forgot to mention, immediately after this incident happened, because I didn't know who else to call, no family or anything like that. And I'd always try to keep friends out of my personal issues and personal business. So my friends, they don't have a clue why I've been going through, for years now. They don't know what's happened recently. But I could literally think of nobody else to call. So I reached out to my friend's mom, who, we still keep in touch with kind of over social media. And so I told my friend that I wanted to speak to her mom, and then it was important, I wanted to ask for a favor, and because she passed on the message. So she's like, yeah, then she reached back out to me, gave me her number, and so she actually called me first, and then we had this conversation I told her what had happened at the shelter, and I told her that I wanted to leave the city basically right away. But I obviously don't have the means to do that. I don't have the money to do that, so I had no choice but to ask her. And so surprisingly, and I don't say surprisingly because I didn't think that she wouldn't help me. It's just that, you don't see or talk to somebody in years, and then all of a sudden out of the blue you contact them asking them for money. So I wasn't expecting her to say right away, oh yeah, like even if she did agree, I was expecting her to say, yeah, but it might take a while. Um, but I'm still in Chicago, obviously, because that plan kind of didn't work out. It was like a oh, spur of the moment. It was like it wasn't well thought out. It was kind of like I don't know if you could call that impulsive, but whatever. If it is impulsive, like whatever. I didn't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do at this point. I've like tried everything. I've talked to everybody. I'm doing everything that I can to stay on the right path and do what I need to do. And it's just kind of not working out. So I just thought, maybe this could be resolved if I just moved out of the city. And I had wanted to move out of Chicago for a while, for a long time now, because the city's just getting worse and worse and worse, and it's just unbearable. But it looks like I'm gonna be remaining here for the foreseeable future until I can get myself out. You really can't depend on anybody else for that at that moment, or for anything for that matter. It's just all on me, which is fine. That's how it's always been, and looks like that's how it's always going to be. As long as I have God looking out for me, and I know it'll be okay. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, and I'll just, end it here. Hopefully I'll have a more uplifting update than this one. But, for now, I'll just leave it at that. I think what I'm going to do, just so, not all of my stuff is just sad and depressing, I'm just going to try to, mix it up. I think what I'm going to do is, start, I have, some hidden talents, I guess you could call them. I like to sing, I like to run. I haven't really posted videos of me doing that, so, I don't know how I'm going to post a video of me running because, the weather is crap right now, so it won't be anytime soon. But as far as me, singing, I can do that because, I don't know, maybe somebody will like my singing. Maybe they won't. But I'm going to post it anyway because I believe I'm a good singer, and I've been told by others that I'm a good singer. So I'm going to do that. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted. If I do, still going to try. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be really fun and give me a chance to get away from all the negativity. Just give my channel some positivity for once. So yeah, hopefully it'll be good. But, I'm going to end it here. And, yeah, good night.